Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This video is brought to you by First Detachment Nutrition. Battle tested, expert formulated. Use discount code AB10 at checkout for 10% off. All right, folks, Big Paul here today. So you want to do a bodybuilding show. It's going to be really expensive. But how expensive is it? I'm going to talk about that in just 1 second. Before you blow your wallet up on a contest prep, take a little bit of that money and set it aside and check out Kurt Havens and I's Anabolics e-course, The Science of Anabolics and Performance-Enhancing Drugs, so you know what you're getting yourself into and you keep yourself safe. There's a free preview of the course up on the Anabolic Bodybuilding website. There's a link to it in the video description below. A couple hours worth of free videos. Go check it out. So you want to do a bodybuilding show, but you're not sure how much it costs. I get guys that reach out to me all the time and ask, how much does a show cost? It is an expensive hobby. No glory. Very expensive. Even the guys on the pro level, most of them are spending quite a bit of money to do a bodybuilding show. Very few pros actually make any money from doing shows unless they have a sponsor or they're a top 5 Olympian. Everybody else is spending money to do shows. So how much does it cost to do a show? If you are an amateur and this is your first show, you can expect to spend somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 minimum. And that's if you only do one class and you hire a cheaper prep coach. You can do things cheaper, but you're probably not going to have good results. If you do it properly, you're going to expect to spend $3,000. Items that you're going to have to purchase on contest prep, you're going to have to get your NPC membership, which is $150. You're going to have to hire a prep coach. I would expect for a decent prep coach to spend at least $800 for a 16-week prep. Probably a lot more than that if you want somebody that's competent and knows what the heck they're doing. It's not going to have you looking like a string bean or coming in fat on stage. Spend the money, get a good coach. And really, you should work with them for an entire year, not just on contest prep to get yourself where you need to be. You're going to have to buy the trunks, posing trunks, probably $50 to $100 for posing trunks if you're a man, depending on what class you're in. Men's physique trunks are a little more expensive. If you're a woman, bikinis are super expensive. I don't know exactly what they cost, but I've heard $400 or $500 for a bikini, maybe more. I don't know. Just going off the top of my head. You're going to have to get grooming supplies, things to shave your back and your balls with. You don't want to go in and look like an idiot on stage with a hairy back. You're going to have to exfoliate. You're going to have to buy things such as exfoliators, stuff to prep you for the tan. You're going to have the entry fee for the show. At a local show, you're probably talking about $200 per class, roughly. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes they'll have deals where you can add second classes for half price or third off, whatever. They're going to have tanning at the show. Expect to spend $150 to $200 on tanning. And for the love of God, don't try to do the tan yourself. Everybody I've seen do the tan themselves, they look weird. They end up screwing it up. They're backstage trying to touch themselves up. The last thing you need on the show day is to deal with the stress of having to fix your tan yourself and do it yourself. Let the professionals do it. You want to look like everybody else on stage. If you get on stage and you're a completely different color, if you're splotchy, if you're runny. I saw a guy at a show one time that was backstage rubbing baby oil all over himself, and he looked like a greased pig. He looked ridiculous getting on stage. His tan was runny, and he was all oiled up. He left oil all over the stage. Everybody was slipping and sliding on the oil that he left on stage. It was nuts. Plus, if you have a problem, the tanning people are usually backstage fixing tans. They'll touch you up backstage. You have that to depend on. So just spend the money on a tan. You're going to have your super supplements. your PEDs. If you do things on the cheap, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to spend. $1,000? If you're on a national stage, you're going to spend even more than that, especially big guys running more. I've heard of guys spending $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on super supplements, especially if they're running pharma grade stuff. National shows too, entry fees are going to be way more for national shows. Your classes are usually, I think I paid $400 at my last national show for a class. I believe that's what it was. So if you do multiple classes, you're going to spend even more money. I would not travel for your first show. If you're not a national level competitor, I would do a local show, stay at home. Don't have to worry about traveling. Traveling is another added expense, another added piece of stress that, quite frankly, you don't want to deal with on the first show. My advice would be to find a show close by that you can stay at your house, sleep in your own bed, go travel to the show, come home, and not have to stress out about that. Traveling with prepped food, traveling and getting your tan done, traveling and not worrying about swelling up like a water balloon, that is all very stressful. It adds another layer of stress to doing a show. Show tickets. You're going to have to buy tickets for your family members, your significant other, your lady friend, your parents, your mom, your dad, whoever's coming to watch you at the show. You're probably going to be buying their tickets unless you're a lame-o and you tell your friend, your partner, your lady friend that she has to buy her own tickets. It's probably not going to go over well. For a local show, you're probably talking about, like I said, between $2,000 and $3,000. For a national show where you're getting on a plane or traveling, you're hiring a better coach, you're using better super supplements, you're booking a hotel, getting on a plane. If you're a big guy like me, I do not fit in coach. I'm a big dude. I have to buy first class tickets to be comfortable and to not swell up. That's going to be an added cost. I mean, you're probably talking about between $8,000 to $10,000 all in on a national show. And if you're running Pharma GH, it's going to be even more. It just depends on what you're looking at. So bodybuilding is not a cheap sport. I see people sometimes that are putting it on a credit card. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but hey, YOLO. I would make sure that you have the budget set aside for it and hire a coach. I'm not saying this because I'm a coach. I have a coach. People go mental on contest prep. They can't keep their head on straight. They start getting their mind all twisted up in circles, second guessing themselves. They see something in the mirror that doesn't exist. Spend the money, get a good coach that's going to guide you through the prep and make sure you look decent on stage. It doesn't make sense to spend all this money and then get on the stage and look like a buffoon. Just spend the money, do it correctly. So contest prep is expensive. You have to ask yourself, am I committed to this? Is this what I want to do? Is this worth it? And if it is, go for it. If you love it, go for it. I love competing. I love doing contest prep. It's hard. It's expensive, but I get great joy out of it. If you're going to bail out halfway through, if it's going to cause you extra stress, if you have no intentions of competing at a high level, maybe not do it. But contest prep is expensive, my friends. If you're going to do a bodybuilding show, you better have the budget for it. All right, folks, this was a quick one. That's all I had on this. Hopefully that answers your questions. How much does contest prep cost? It's expensive. Thank you for watching. Take care. For coaching or consultations, head over to www.anabolicbodybuilding.com to book your spot today. I can help you with optimizing hormones, fat loss, muscle gain, physique, athletic performance, nutrition, and health. For more information, shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com.